Hi, I'm One Kidney Mike. I donated a kidney in February of 2025, and now I'm climbing all 27 peaks in Montana that are greater than 12,000 feet. And today is the last day that I'm going to have this weekend in the Beartooth Wilderness area. We climbed Whitetail and Silver Run on Friday. Saturday we made an attempt at Sundance, but altitude kind of got to me. Not to mention, it's a lot different climbing out here than it is where I'm normally at, because the highest peak was Scapegoat and it's around 9,200 feet at the peak. I'm camped at 9,500 feet right here. And of course, all the other peaks that I'm attempting to go to are above 12,000. So there's quite a big altitude difference. Not to mention, there's a lot more scrambling than I thought there would be. But today I'm going to be hiking out. It's a beautiful morning. I'm getting an early start because I have to drive 4.5 hours back home, and I want to actually have a little bit of time to kind of unpack, unwind, take a warm shower, all that good stuff. You can see right here is an avalanche path where it just decimated those trees. You know, I was just telling somebody this morning, there's 3 women that camped near me last night, that it's only been 5 months since my surgery, which is pretty amazing. So I've got 2 of the 27 peaks down, 5 months in. I think that's something to be happy about, even though I had unrealistically planned for more. But yesterday was a good learning experience, that's for sure. The other thing that those ladies asked me was, what do you do to relax? And I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm a social worker for a hospice, and I provide social work and bereavement services to families. So this is how I relax. Coming out here, I've encountered a total of 7 people the entire 4 days I've been out here, just kind of wandering around in nature, finding all these beautiful things, thinking about also just how I'm gonna capture them on video to show somebody else, to just try and get some small glimpse of what this place is really like. All these places I go to are so amazing. As I said before, Montana is a beautiful state. And I mean, that doesn't mean that if you don't live here in Montana, you don't have beauty around you. There's beauty in every state. Everyone that I've been to, I've always found remarkable things, but they're all different. They're all unique. It's just great to get out into what's kind of my backyard and explore it, and then hopefully be able to share it with others so that they can kind of see what that's like, because you know, not everybody's able to get out here. This is interesting. There was a tree right next to my camp that did that too. Just those tons of little branches all in one spot. Like I said, interesting things everywhere you look. This place is absolutely stunning. You go from those waterfalls and then to that grassy, swampy, flat area. And then the other thing that I was noticing yesterday as I was up around Bowback and Sundance Mountain on that unsuccessful attempt, that everything is just so massive. Take for example that boulder I just passed. It's like everything here is on such a huge scale. You know, when I was walking up to Whitetail, I kept getting closer and it just kept getting larger and larger. You know, a lot of vertical in a very short distance. And it's just so much more imposing. I don't know if the camera catches it. Hopefully I've brought some examples, you know, like just me standing by that boulder. And that's not even the largest one I've encountered. There's hundreds of them like that all over that I've just come across. All along the trail, they put so much work into making it a nice trail. They even have gone through and blasted some of the rocks out of the way. They drill a hole in there and then put some explosives in and blow the rock out just to make the trail. They'll stack those up. They reinforce it with wire mesh. Kind of amazing how much work goes into these trails. And you know, it's not just this trail, all of the trails, making it so that way these are accessible, because it would be very, very difficult to be able to bushwhack through here. I am almost back to the trailhead. I have to say that I've passed, I don't know, probably 30 people, 40 people on the way down in this last 2 miles of the trail. And lo and behold, there's even more coming up. I'm gonna wrap it up here because I imagine the trailhead's probably a zoo. This has been an amazing trip. It was a partial success. I was able to get to the top of both Silver Run and Whitetail. So I consider that a pretty big success for me. The other thing is that I also learned a lot just about how much more difficult this terrain is and the elevation. You know, my Scapegoat Wilderness adventure, I went 56 miles in 4 days and summited 4 peaks and all that. And I felt good afterwards. I was tired, but not like here. Not like here at all. It is completely different ball game. And so, you know, I looked at what I did do and figured that it would more closely translate to what I want to do here, and it didn't. So even though I'm starting to make the climbs, that doesn't mean that my training is over. I'm gonna have to still keep working on legs. I'm not able to get out here every weekend like I am for the day trips closer to where I live. The next big trip I think will be in 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I have to check my schedule at work to see what I can get away with, because I have to take at least 1 day off to get out here. But it's worth it. This place is amazing. I'm so happy that I've set this challenge for myself, because it has really kind of gotten me out into areas that I don't think I normally would go. So with all that said, I'm going to wrap up here. This is the last day. I'm just a little bit away from the trailhead. And I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. It does help out the channel to reach more people. And I hope that you have a great day.